Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on Brass Chat. You'll notice that we've changed the name. We are no longer Bring Back the Brass, but Brass Chat is a feature that will be presented by one of the 5 Brass Foundations team members. It gives me immense pleasure to share this half hour with an emerging talent. Actually, he's a bit more than that. He has emerged and he's getting better and better all the time, and he's making a significant mark on today's brass banding world. So this is Luke Barker. Come on in, Luke Barker, and have a seat.
Hello, Sheila. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. Not too bad, thank you. Not too bad.
Jolly good. Recovered from the weekend?
Oh, getting that way.
Luke, we've chosen to talk to you because you are, well, you're the person to talk to at the moment, aren't you? It seems that lots of people are wanting to talk to you. And we thought we'd get in on the act. But I probably know a little bit more about you than the people on the big magazines. So I'm going to just be a little bit more probing, I think. So Luke, you come from a farming family. How on earth did you get into playing the cornet?
Yeah, so like you said, my mum's dad was a farmer. And then it kind of passed down to my mum and her sister. And my parents, when I was younger, had no idea about brass banding. I don't think they even realised it existed. I actually learned to play the violin in school, and I have a grade 8 violin, which not many people know.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and I didn't particularly enjoy that. I mean, I did it, but yeah. So in primary school, I saw these other lads at the back of the room playing trumpets. I thought that looked kind of cool. So my mum talked to some of the other parents, had an ask around about how I could do it. And I came across Shipston Band. Well, she came across Shipston Band, who offered tuition as part of their junior band. And I had weekly sessions with Dave Birch, and we went through the cornet solos. We went through the team brass book. And then within a couple of months, I was in the junior band. And it kind of really went from there. I just learned from sitting next to other people who'd been doing it longer for me. You probably know Dave Clevens, John Smith. I sat next to them in the community band style concert brass, and then the town band, the contesting band, and just picked things up from people. I never really had lessons or anything like that until I went to secondary school, where I had trumpet lessons and was constantly told off for sounding like a cornet player.
Oh.
I know, but I stuck to my guns and I came out the other side. So
yeah, that was a really good move. So I'm a brass teacher in the Midlands, and I've come across you. I think I first came across you when you were about 14-ish, and you were doing the solo contest circuits, and just because you're a friendly soul, we've chatted about various things. But solo contests have been quite a big thing in your life, haven't they? How do you think that shaped you?
I think it's brilliant. I think that's some of the best things you can do, not only for your music playing, but also as character building, really. You know, you're forced on a stage on your own, perhaps with a piano player if you're lucky, and you have to play. You know, you have no choice. You've got probably 50 people sitting in front of you. And I think that's really from a young age is I've learned how to deal with nerves, with performance anxiety, and always trying to play my best. And I think that you know it just goes down to those solo contests. When I was younger, you just don't think anything of it when you're that age, and it just kind of molds into you as a person.
Yeah, and always, I think whenever I heard you play, what really shone through was your sound. It was just, and you talked about, you were told off for sounding like a cornet player, but for me, you are a cornet player.
Yeah.
You know, that defines you, and your sound is the thing that really makes the difference, I think.
Yeah.
In your playing. Because it's just so expressive.
Thank you.
Beautiful. What motivates you, Luke? What do you think is the one thing that makes you pick up your cornet every day, or is it are you just a driven kind of person?
I'm definitely a driven kind of person in everything I do. I always want to be the best. I'm also a very, very competitive person. So I never want to be beaten, simply. But I also just love playing, to be honest. I can play just for hours, just sort of not hours back to back, but like 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, another half an hour then. I'm just twiddling on little bits. I mean, my neighbours could probably all tell you, to be honest, what I play every day, when I play. But yeah, it's probably down to those two things, really. I'm a really driven person. I want to get better, I want to be the best I can possibly be. And I just enjoy doing it. So I guess it's the best combination you can have.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you think part of that drive has got you to where you are in the National Youth Band?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's hard to say, really. I mean, it depends on the people around you. I think there were some absolutely incredible players that preceded me in the youth band. So I knew I wasn't really going to be able to overtake them whilst I was there. But I guess that didn't stop me from trying to play the best that I could in my auditions and getting as high as I possibly could.
Did you start with the children's band?
Yeah, I did. I did 3 children's band courses. Right.
I didn't know how long that had been going and how long you've been going. How long have you been going and doing all this?
Is it in youth band courses and things?
Yeah.
Gosh. My first children's band course was in 2015.
Right.
And then obviously my last youth band course was this year. So that's 6 years, isn't it?
And you are too old now.
I am. I'm too old.
Okay. So what do you think your highlights have been in your youth band career? Because it's kind of come to an end. What really stands out? What do you think you'll think about in 20 years' time and say, yeah, I did that in all that time ago?
Crikey, there's too much to say. I mean, I think just some of the performance experiences you have, playing alongside Alan Bazzuti, like when else did I do that in my life? Playing in the Barbican, playing with the LSO, playing under Bramwell Tovey, under Philip Harper, under Gary Cutt. And then I think one of the other really sort of overlooked things of the National Youth Band is the people you meet. At the contest this weekend, the amount of people I saw from National Youth Band who I'd been with throughout the band and just saying hello, how are you doing? You just know so many people, and I just think that's fantastic. Wherever you go, you will always find someone who's played in the National Youth Band of Great Britain. Yeah,
fabulous, like an old boys club, and girls and
girls.
Sorry. What would you say to a youngster who is thinking of auditioning, perhaps doesn't know a lot about it? And what about the audition process? Is it daunting?
I would say absolutely audition. It is so worth it. In fact, I was in that position when I was probably their age. I was really, really uneasy about auditioning. I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I was nervous about the audition. It was quite far away from home. All those kind of anxieties. And in actual fact, once you've done 1 or 2 courses, you're really in the swing of it. You know exactly what you're doing. You know everyone. You know the tutors. You know the house staff, and you'll never look back. And it's one of the best things that you can possibly do if you want to be a brass band player, or not even playing brass bands. If you want to go in the orchestral world, you look at Phil Cobb, James Fountain, 2 of the ex-principal cornets as the National Youth Brass Band of Great Britain were where they are now. Why would you not audition? I think is what I would say.
Good advice. Earlier you were talking about how the solo contest circuit helped you with your nerves. Do you still get nervous? Because I don't think you've ever looked nervous at all. You've come off stage and sometimes said you weren't happy with what you've done, but I don't think the nerves have ever shown. Is that the case? Or are you just hiding it?
I can tell you I definitely do get nervous. I think it depends on what it is. I mean, and I guess I've kind of learned how to control it, or learn how I'm going to feel. Like, say to myself before a contest or before a solo, like, you are going to feel nervous. You've got to prepare yourself to feel nervous. and try and respond to that. You know, your breathing's going to speed up, your heart rate's going to speed up. So how are you going to counter that? But you know, I definitely do get nervous. But I guess when I know I can play something, I'm not too worried. But if I know there's sort of one or two bars or one or two beats that I could go either way, it does throw you a bit. So I guess it's preparation as well. You know, if you prepare well, then you probably won't feel as nervous. That's what I found.
And you're a big practicer, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, I do know that you've worked really hard since March 2020 and taken the opportunity to just play.
Yeah.
Which frankly puts me to shame. But yes, quite a shining light in that respect, I think, Luke.
Thank you. I mean, there's been loads of opportunities as well. You know, there was some solo contests that you pointed out to me, and then obviously I had the Geneva contest, which was again a great motivation for me and came out successful. So, you know, I think you say I'm a serial practicer, and during lockdown I was a beacon of light, but I think that's because of other things that were put on that forced me to practice. You know, otherwise, kind of, what else would I be practicing for? It was difficult. You know, it was a tough 18 months, but we are where we are now, aren't we?
We are, yes. And you've come out of it really, really well. So things have shifted for you a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
Quite a lot. And you're becoming quite a face around banding media. In fact, I was just flicking through on social media before we started to record, and I saw your photograph with Black Dyke. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so that was a fantastic opportunity, actually. That came about through Geneva Group, where I'm now an ambassador. And they said to me, "Would you like to perform with Black Dyke at the Royal Albert Hall?" Just like, wow, absolutely yes. So yeah, we played a trio, Bugler's Holiday, and it was great fun. Absolutely fantastic opportunity. And
what else has happened as a result of the Geneva competition? If we can just explain, Geneva started a competition which was led by Philip McCann, initiated by Philip McCann, for cornet players. And Luke, you won that competition. It was an online contest, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the prize was a Geneva cornet, which you've now got, which is quite something to win a cornet. That's amazing. But of course, that's put your name out there. So what else has happened? Anything else significant as a result of that?
I think in general, as you said, it's just put my name out there. I didn't really expect anything to come about of it when I entered the contest. I must say, you know, it was an international slow melody contest, and you think, oh God, little me from the sticks of nowhere down south isn't really going to do much. But I did. And yeah, they've been really supportive. I must say they've been fantastic, you know, offering me opportunities like this last weekend with Black Dyke at the Albert Hall, and just generally support and things. Yeah, it's been fantastic. And the instrument second to none. It's brilliant.
And all this from a linguist.
Oh, I know.
You're not actually studying music at university, are you?
No, I'm not studying music. I'm studying French and Spanish. So brass banding is definitely my hobby, and I quite like it to stay that way.
Good for you. Do you see your worlds colliding? So is there any way you think you could get your languages and your cornet playing together?
Well, next year I'm actually not going to be in the UK. So as part of my degree, I have to have a year abroad. So I'm currently, I will be in a couple of weeks starting to get that sorted. And I'm hoping to go probably either to France or Switzerland. So I'm sure there'll hopefully be the opportunity to play in a band when I'm over there. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Have you made any contacts yet?
Not yet, but I'm sure I'll be able to when I know what I've got to do and when I know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
I can start to get sorted.
Fabulous. Sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
Sounds very exciting. So when we say watch this space about what the future holds for somebody, I, for one, am really excited about what, I'm going to be quite proud about knowing you, Luke Barker. It looks like a bright future. Have you got any major ambitions for the future? I mean, you've got your whole life ahead of you. What would you like to include in your life?
God, that's quite a question. I think in terms of brass banding, obviously everyone sort of dreams about, playing on the end and winning a major. So I guess that would kind of be near the top of my list. And yeah, just I'm kind of just seeing where life takes me, really, and just kind of play it by ear. I didn't expect to be here where I am now 2 years ago. So who knows where I'll be in 2 years.
And if we could just say that you are assistant principal with Flowers Band, at the moment, what's it like sitting in almost the hot seat?
Intense, I think would be the word that I would describe it as. There is pressure. You have to play your best. But again, it being part of the band has just driven me to practice and just to get as good as I can. I remember when I first joined, it was quite out of my comfort zone. I really didn't feel that I was good enough to play in a band. So I just worked and I am where I am now, and it's just a fantastic band. I mean, everybody says that about their band, but it's more than a band. It's a group of friends, really. It's great for me. Everybody's kind of similar age, so it's quite a young band. And then there's just some fantastic players there. You've got Paul Richards sitting behind you, who's just a masterclass in his warm-up, let alone in band itself. And just fantastic players with a lot of experience around the stands, and it's just great for someone like me, so young, to be able to learn from that.
Fabulous. Well, it's been really, really nice to talk to you, Luke.
And you, Sheila.
I'm really looking forward to what comes next. So tell me first, won't you?
I will.
Come up. Okay. Thank you, everybody. And we will see you next time on Brass Chat.